Okay, so before I get started here with analyzing my solution for lead, mercury, and silver, I'm going to show you a quick technique here because you'll notice this procedure, it says add 1 milliliter of distilled water. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my distilled water and I'm actually going to count how many drops are in a milliliter. There's also markings on this pipette, but again, it's qualitative analysis, so the presence or absence, the exact volume doesn't necessarily matter. But here I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 22. So 22. I kind of knew it was going to be around 20 because that's what we use in pharmacy school. So 22 drops is going to be 1 milliliter. I think that's going to help me out later on. Now, here's my test tube 1. It says add 8, test tube 1. It says add 8 drops of 6 molar HCl. So here's my 6 molar HCl from the cart. And let's watch what happens. So here we go. 8. All right. So there's definitely a chemical reaction that goes on. All right, so now let's go over. I need to take my distilled water and my extra test tube, and let's go centrifuge this. So it doesn't say exactly how much we're going to centrifuge or how long we're going to centrifuge, so let's just give this a try. So here's my centrifuge right there. All right, so you pull this thing out. Here's test tube 1. Look, you can see it's already starting to settle to the bottom. We want that to happen. Now I'm going to put this in position 6 here in my centrifuge. So here's position 6. Now, what do we know about a centrifuge? It has to be balanced. So I've got my other test tube of water that's approximately the same amount, and I'm going to put it here in my centrifuge directly across. So here we go, that's in position 6. So this needs to go in position 3. All right, it's probably been a little bit since you've used the centrifuge. So let's get this thing shut. There we go. And I'm going to turn it on. And while that's centrifuging, I'm going to go grab my HCl for the procedure. To make sure that we centrifuge this long enough. It needs to be centrifuged long enough that it actually is going to force all that solid to the bottom, and so we can get a good separation out of it. So that's probably been long enough. Let's find out. So we got to wait for it to stop. This thing's still going. You can't really hear it. So you may not be able to see this spinning thing. If you put your finger right on the top of it, if it's still spinning pretty hard, it'll burn your finger. Okay, so here, this is what it looks like now. All that's gone to the bottom. Now, this says add 1 more drop of HCl. So here's my HCl, and let's add 1 more drop and see if anything happens. It shouldn't, but I did not see any more precipitate form. So we're gonna move on. All right, so here, this is test tube 1. Now, it says centrifuge it again. So let's centrifuge it again. We won't have to centrifuge it as long this time, but I've gone ahead and gotten test tube 2 ready. So here's test tube 2, and we're gonna pour this fluid off of it into test tube 2. Be careful when you're slowing this thing down. It'll burn you. All right, so remember that was in test tube, or position 6. So here's my precipitate there at the bottom. Everything else is now about to go. So the supernatant liquid, that'll be what's above the test tube, is gonna go into test tube 2. So that's what's not solid. So that's gonna go in here. And this is why having a good centrifuge is important, because I can shake this test tube a little bit and make sure I get all the liquid out of it. And so that way, I know the only thing I have left is this precipitate. So there's test tube 2, here's test tube 1. Test tube 2 goes back in the rack. Procedure says add about 1 milliliter of distilled water to test tube 1. So again, this is qualitative analysis. We're gonna shake this up a little bit. All right, so now let's stir it up. This is a good way to stir a test tube, in case you didn't know that. And what this is doing is this is actually gonna try to wash off, if I didn't get all that liquid, those other cations, it's gonna get them back into solution. Wash that off. Okay, so now, back in the centrifuge we go. Now the next step says decant. What does decant mean? That means pour it off in the sink. Position 6. There we go. Look, we've still got our clear fluid. We've got our ions. So let's go pour this down the sink real quick. Notice the procedure says that. That is how we are going to discard it. All right, so here it goes. Down the sink. Okay, cool. All right, next. Hope you're not getting motion sick yet. All right, now we're still in test tube 1. Test the precipitate for lead 2 ions by first adding 1 milliliter of distilled water to test tube 1. There we go, roundabout 1 milliliter water. Okay, next, place the test tube 1 in the hot water bath, which is at or very near boiling. All right, here's my hot water bath. And if you can see, there's actually a few bubbles starting to come up in the bottom. So we're gonna put this in the hot water bath. And it says leave it here for 3 minutes, and we're gonna stir it about every 30 seconds. So I'm gonna do that. You don't have to sit here and watch me do that. So we'll come back at where we are going to be centrifuging the hot liquid. So I'll be back.